Today's talk is entitled Hopi Mythology, the European Prophecy Rocks. So I suppose I should just dive in and try and explain my understanding. This isn't to my understanding of the Hopi prophecy rock. This is not to insult the Hopi in any shape or form. It isn't meant as an insult. I think it's just a way my research has led me to believe what was being said by these ancient peaceful people. A lot of the understanding of what was written in these petroglyphs have been lost, and so what I want to do is bring some of my research to the Hopi prophecy rock, and I would suggest that my research is somewhat saying a similar thing, although I am not a Hopi scholar, and I can't lay claim to knowing all their oral traditions. So this isn't meant to insult the Hopi. It is just to bring back some lost knowledge that my 2 decades of research into the energy of creation suggests. So there's a thing called prophecy rock. I'm not sure that that's what the Hopi would call it. Obviously the West gets hold of some of these things and suggests all sorts of fashionable or outlandish ideas and names of things, but I think it's commonly known as prophecy rock, although I'm not sure that the Hopi would call it such a thing. I have never met I've met some indigenous Americans, but again they are so Americanized that they've given up on their old traditions. So what we got is a photograph of the prophecy rock here, with one of the Hopi elders, and very difficult to see. So I put up another Hopi image. This is a stylized drawing of it. How accurate this is, I don't know. I noticed that in the photograph, the what they class as the Great Spirit, it doesn't have the energy or the sphere attached to his hand, and that would be critical to the argument. So all I'm going to do is now just show a number of different images and talk about my theory as to what is going on within this prophecy rock. So what we have is European prophecy rocks. I'm only using that language mainly because it ties into the prophecy rock of the Hopi. These are ancient understandings of this lost energy. The Hopi talk about the Great Spirit disappearing off the earth. I would talk about it in the terms of the orbs that were once seen have lost the charge due to the low and declining magnetic field. So as an orb gains charge, it can be seen. As the increased charge of the earth increases, then the orbs will be seen again. So I've done little videos on Dharma and stuff like that, why morality has deteriorated in a low magnetic field. So what we have is a man working with energy. He's got a ball attached to his hand, which is very similar to the Great Spirit and the Great Spirit's energy. So I will start to try and translate what we're seeing. We have other European petroglyphs. These were painted by the Scandinavian Rock Art Society. It shows men throwing balls of energy. Obviously it's a cropped image because there's another man at the other end of those line of spheres. And actually we've got a video of two of the young lads, or they were a few years ago, who tried to pass energy between themselves, and that's on YouTube. I think it's Matthew and John working with energy for the first time or something like that on my YouTube channel. Obviously the inset picture is myself working with the energy of creation. It's only because we've got digital cameras can we record this. Occasionally you can see it in the flashlight, and I've seen it on the odd occasion when it's got enough charge. Many people have seen this stuff. Not many have done any research into it. That's about all I can say. And the majority who've done any research in it, end up not doing it properly. So, if I go back to the prophecy rock, so you have the Great Spirit and the Great Spirit's energy, and the bottom line, to me, that is two orbs which are attached to the surface of the earth. As the two orbs leave, as the orb leaves the surface, it starts to create man and crops. So it's a Genesis story. The Great Spirit, the Creator, whatever you want to call it, and Guy, and whatever that is to anybody, it's an unfathomable to me. Brings this energy into creation. This energy was on the earth and in the earth. It rises out of the earth, and this is the bottom line now, which creates man and crops. So that would be my take on the bottom line, and the man, the creator, with the creator's energy, the creator serving its energy. So, what I want to do now is just show some of the images. What we have is a microscopic image of cells and their division. We have an image of a satellite image of what they class as gravitational lensing, and we have orbs, or this ether, or Great Spirit energy, which can be digitally photographed, but is disappeared from our visual frequency. So this is all surround us, and this is why the Great Spirit did disappear. It disappeared out of our minds. The stories were lost, and what the ancients did when at these points of about 4,000 years ago, they started to tell us. They realized that the energy was depleting off the earth, and they realized that their ancient ways were being lost, and so they recorded in the rocks for their ancestors the future people who would come, the story of their life. And so what I wanted to do is add some more evidence as to why this is the creative force. They talk about an evolution. The words are not great, and I don't quite see the evolution, the language of evolution, being a correct model. It's a half truth, and as Einstein said, half truths are often great lies. So there's a partial truth. Two tall people have children. The chances are they're going to have tall children, but they don't turn into plants. and even through evolution they don't turn into plants. So anyway, the oldest fossils on the Earth are about 3.6 billion years old. So the top three are 3.4 billion years old, and what we have is drawings, black and white drawings, of three orbs, or three fossils, which are under the microscope. They're little tiny calcite spheres, which were fossilized animals, the very simplest origins of life. And what you will notice is there's underneath it is a spiked orb. They're spherical. The orbs show the same patterns of these. To the next, the reddish image, that is actually a fertilized cell, and underneath that grayer image with a hole in it is an orb. So we have these. We also have the apex fossils, I think they're called, and we have the wave as well, the wave shape, and the simplest life form in the sea, which is a colony of animals, and we have that similar hook and sphere effect. So the orbs look like the oldest fossils as well. So not only do they look like things, so this creative force, the Great Spirit's force, was lost because of a low magnetic field. And in that low magnetic field we all became deranged. So what we have in Hopi mythology is Kachinas, and in Hopi mythology Mwanga is one of the Kachinas responsible for the germination of seeds. Another Kachina responsible, Alaska, is responsible for the growth of crops. And possibly an alternative name for Mwanga. So they have. So back to this image that I'm showing. So we have orbs delivering their energy to tree, and this is the Kachina in the springtime, before germination or before the sap starts to rise. It delivers its signal of charge, and so we have our plant Kachinas, or our plant life force, or the life force that Alfred Russel Wallace was looking for. Or the ether that all the ancients, or various different peoples knew about. And so what I've introduced is other biological processes which are absolutely similar, and if I turn these into black and white images, scientists would have trouble discriminating between which is my photograph and which is the photograph under a microscope. So in there are two of my photographs, and there are two under a spectrum microscope or whatever it would be. And I put this following image is just to endorse this biological universe. The Hermetica states as above, so below. And the caption of this is, the above image endorses the ancient understanding that we live in a biological universe driven by the Great Spirit life force, if you want to call it that. The first image is a fibroblast under microscopic conditions, and the second is my images from the All-Bar Wave study. This is unseen. It can be recorded in the infrared. It records when you put enough light into the particle. But the Great Spirit has been lost for now. with the returning energies that are coming in from space, we will once again see this stuff, and we have to prepare ourselves for it. So back to the prophecy rock. So now we have the Great Spirit and the energy that the Great Spirit provides for life to be present. The life force. The two orbs now are attached in and above the earth. They come out of the earth. They create a man. They create a crop. Now this is looking at the bottom line. We have additional energy workers who can work with this energy. They work with it for healing. They work with it for the land itself. They work to stimulate this energy, as the ancient energy workers did. And in the final image, this is from a Scandinavian museum. We have a similar story where it's telling you that the orbs were creating men, and the orbs were creating. It is the life force that creates mankind and every living thing. You've even got dogs. There's one picture with dogs coming out of it, being formed out of the energy. And so the ancients understood the universe, probably the universe and the mechanisms of how this energy force creates life. This life force, the Great Spirit. All the ancients worked with energy. These tribal dances are all about the energy. They will be seen in their dances. The Hopi dances. These kachinas will be seen because of the increase in force on the planet. Here's just another picture of, again, 4,000-year-old petroglyph. Could be 5,000 or could be 3,500. This one I haven't had dated by any archaeologists. What has been done is probably painted in red ochre, just to show the depressions. You've also got the energy by the ankle, where the energy enters into the body. I don't think anybody understands this stuff, but it is coming, and so we will see the return of this great spirit, great spiritual energy, and the golden age that comes from the Vedic ideas will return, and we will reconnect with what is the European prophecy rock. This is their story. This is from a Scandinavian prophecy rock, which lays down the true nature of the creation. Thank you very much for everyone listening. This energy is returning. This energy is going to be seen shortly. This energy interacts and forms everything in the universe. Thank you very much. Goodbye.